everyone. Welcome back to a normal Dropped Frames. No more game show, not E3 Summer Game Fest coverage for us this year. It's done. It's over.
Not waking up with you guys.
I know.
It's true.
This whole week.
Yeah.
I was so used to being able to roll over and push your shoulder awake, and I miss it.
That did happen. That did. I mean, you were you're pulling all sorts of things out of his ass too. It was kind of crazy.
It's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
What I miss is like waking up and going, "Oh, JP will do most of it."
It's true. It's true. I miss not having to figure out what the fuck I'm going to do for the day instead of just watching things for 7 hours or however long we were. Some of those days were crazy with just the same trailers and multiple events. You know, it was fine. It worked out. I enjoyed it.
It was fun. It was a good one. It was a good one.
Yeah.
Most of the shows were quality, and you know there weren't any co-medias really, and even the ones that we didn't have, even the ones we didn't have high expectations for, were still pretty enjoyable.
Yeah,
some even were very surprisingly enjoyable. So.
And I'm sure, like you, I mean, I know we've talked about it, maybe a little bit on the show, but a lot just between us, like how exhausting it is just sitting there, you know, like just. You know, and it sounds stupid to say like, oh, you got tired just from like, have you ever been waiting for your flight or waiting for, you know, like something like that? And you're just sitting there and you find yourself just like, ugh. Because you're not doing anything. Your brain's not working. Your hands aren't doing anything. Like,
yeah, dude, why is it that I get significantly more tired watching those shows than playing video games?
That one,
I think that's like especially streaming, like interacting, reading a chat, playing a game. Like I by the end of those days, I was done. I was
so
bored.
It's what I'm hearing, Co, is that React streamers have it harder than variety streamers. Is that
what I'm trying to say, man?
Okay,
they're the real heroes of streaming, in my opinion. Absolutely. I don't know how they do it.
They're out there every day making content off of other people's content. Every day.
Content every day.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You should half and half. I don't think I experienced that code because I do a decent amount of React content. And I was also doing things rather like I was fiddling with random tech bullshit throughout the stream. So I was doing more than just sitting there ultimately. So I wasn't getting the tiredness from that. But I get why you totally, why you would. If you're just kind of hanging out.
Well, I was not playing games while I was watching, so it's it was actually a thing.
Yeah.
If I was running the show like you were, like had concerns about like how's it sound, how's the bit rate, like you have to think about those things. That keeps your brain active, right?
Yeah.
Like me, I didn't have to do any of that during the show, so I was only looking at that and chat.
Sure.
And that was it. And that's just like not enough, not enough input for me. Like I'm sure a lot of you out there, maybe even people in the show, are like me. Like when you relax to play video games, you always have something else on.
Yeah.
As well as the video game, sometimes 2 or 3 things,
Yep. Yeah, I usually have multiple streams open. I go a little bit too far, and I told Max this story, and he called me an insane person, maybe rightfully so. But usually if I'm playing a game, I have 2 streams, and they're both faded to left and right ear. And that's just how that's just like, and sometimes there's varying degrees of volume involved depending on what's happening in the stream, or like a full mute or something. But yeah.
No, that shit is like me trying to read like a book with no pictures. I'm like, what? Hold on, rewind.
I was ADD.
I didn't catch that one. Fuck, rewind.
It's undoubtedly, it was a learned skill. I didn't just decide to do that one day, and it's 100% added to overall, I would say, an increase in like ADD activity, and most likely also if I'm bored, then the anxietal mind wanders way too fast because of something like that, I would imagine. So don't do it. I don't recommend it, but that's what happens.
I got a little bit of a lesson in how well I can do shit like that when I was doing the Twitch stuff, the Twitch studio like interview stuff.
Yeah.
And I'd have the IFB in, which is that little earpiece, and the guy would talk to you, and I'd be in the middle of a question, and be like, "So, in the game, can you?" do stuff and like, or I'd want to say what they were saying to the guests. Be like, so tell me about your. We're gonna cut to this and B-roll in 5 seconds. Question.
Producers shouldn't be in your ear saying that. They should just be saying, "Hey, break in 5." That's it.
No, that's what I'm saying. B-roll 5 seconds.
Oh, like, yeah, I guess. Yeah. I guess there are benefits to the ADD-addled brain in that regard, but yeah, I don't know if learned ADD is a difference than I think like true ADD.
There's ADD, and then there is the skill of multitasking. Two very different things.
Yeah.
two very different things. That's a important distinction. One is intentional.
Yes.
One is not intentional.
That's very true. That's very true.
And you can go back and look at all the times that JP was like, you already asked that question, Zach or Zeke.
Oh yeah, that's also true.
Oh, I got that.
I already asked.
I
distinctly at least in one. Yeah, I was gonna say at least at one point in the show, I specifically remember like, why do I even talk? And I remember I was like, I was off on Twitter or something after somebody said like something dropped on Twitter, and I just remember coming back and being like, oh yeah, that thing. And you know what the best part is? I probably subconsciously heard you say it and then started thinking about it, which is then why I said something.
It's true. I've done that before as well. It happens. Sorry, the Ollie's being crazy. Let's, I guess, kind of start with a teeny tiny bit of news. Most of the news we kind of already covered in great detail. We didn't watch the Final Fantasy VII 25-year anniversary stream or the Dragon's Dogma 10-year anniversary stream. And for a lot of people, those were the big announcements that most people didn't really expect anything to come from that. Because they were like, it's going to be a 10-minute deal. It's not going to have, we're going to get out there and it could be short. And then they do a 10-minute stream where they announce a bunch of Final Fantasy VII projects, including the next iteration of the remake project. So,
and this needs to be talked about on our show.
Yeah.
I don't have the clip. Max linked me the clip. We would like to point out that on this show, what, a year plus ago?
Yeah.
We had the infamously awesome Maximilian dude on to talk about Final Fantasy VII. It was a big spoiler cast. And also Strippin was there as well.
Yes.
Because Zeke could not finish it at that point. And at the end of the show, the question was asked by JP, I believe. And it was, what do you think the next iteration is going to be called? Because we all knew another game was coming. What do you think it's going to be called? We all thought about it for a second. Max just goes, I think it's going to be Rebirth. Just totally casually is just like, I think it's going to be Rebirth. And then Strippin goes, that or Reunion. Let it be known that Crisis Core Reunion and Final Fantasy VII Rebirth were announced. Now, if you continue watching that clip, you will see me 5 seconds later purchase both of those domains. And if you go to FF7Rebirth.com, it goes to my Twitch channel.
It's true.
So I've already
you actually did that.
I absolutely did during the show. And if you go to FF7 Rebirth right now, FF7Rebirth.com, it goes to my Twitch channel. FF7 Reunion, which I also registered, now goes to Strippin's channel as he came up with it. And I have since also offered to Max if he wants the redirect to go his way, since he is the one that came up with Rebirth. He is welcome to that. So, yeah. So thank you to Max and Strippin for your suggestions.
Yeah,
I capitalized on them, and they were great.
It's a good time.
Have you been contacted at all by any like?
I have not, but
okay,
I have not. But to make it super clear, and in the interest of full legal disclosure, if I was in any official capacity requested to release either of those domains to Squeenix, I would do it in a heartbeat. I'm not domain squatting. Like I would not be the kind of person to be like, well, yeah, it's cool. You could use a domain. I could use $2 million. We could work something out here. No, it's not nothing like that. I would gladly give both domains to them.
Well, why not though? Like, I don't understand. Like, you bought a plot of land that had nothing on it, and then someone wants to develop it. Like, get your money, get that bag.
Because here's the thing. Because I'm not a lawyer, And the fact that FF7 is in the title and we know that they hold a bajillion copyrights to those means
True.
the last thing I would want to do is A, get in a legal battle with Sony, and B, I wouldn't want to piss them off anyway. I wouldn't even want to get them to that point. The whole thing was jokes. So it's like, I'm not, whatever. If sure, maybe they'd give me some money for the domain and then blacklist me for eternity. It was all jokes. I have no interest in charging Sony for domains.
I get your position, but if it were me and I wanted to keep a good relationship,
Square Enix,
I'd ask some low, like $100 just to get that check.
Just to
so
get
I can frame it and put it on the wall.
Yeah.
That's not a bad. Just charge them like
I will give it to you for 1 penny.
Yeah, 1 penny. And
I want an
need
official
a check
from Square Enix for 1 penny.
That's what I would do.
So that's 2 carnage. Yes.
That'd be great. Yeah.
And that's
2 pennies for both domains.
Yeah.
Yes, that's right.
Be great. That should be the course of action.
And I would like it signed by Yoshi P.
Yeah. Have him write the memo on the check.
That autograph would be worth more than the domain for me.
There you go. Yeah. That would be cool.
That'd be good. No, dude, listen.
Oh, I should
Do
get
it.
him to give it to me for $3.50.
You could.
$3.50.
The boomer joke.
I want to check. I want to check for $3.50 from Square.
Get some like exclusive merch, like shit that they don't give to that they haven't sold. Like, what do you got?
Ask for the Terra statue.
There you go.
So I heard you have something about Tifa and a Jacko pose.
Yes,
maybe you could. Yes.
Or ask them to make you something.
Oh yes.
I want you to make me a Tifa statue, but she's dressed as Sailor Moon. Okay, and that's my price. That's my price.
And I'd like it all in crystal.
Ooh. Maybe you might be able to match a statue even more expensive than that Terra statue for like 13 grand or whatever that is that they make. If it was in crystal, maybe. Who could say?
But yeah. Anyway, TLDR, shout out to Max and Strippin. They literally nailed the 2 next names of that franchise. That's amazing.
They did. Yeah.
Yeah.
Max was going to be here, but then Father's Day happened for any inquiring minds. So we might have him back on in the future next week or the week after that or something. Definitely around the time that game ships.
For those that are interested, also, he has released a couple, 2 or 3, like full lore videos on a lot of very interesting things. So if you do want to check out that stuff, make sure to do it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good
Maximilian
conjecture.
Right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
I think he's
and
probably
not gassy Mexican, which is what I keep hearing.
No, he's probably got an hour worth of footage for a 2.5 minute trailer. So he's dissected the shit out of that. If you really want to do the deep dive, by all means.
So real quick, before we continue, just so it's said, what's the next game called?
The third one?
Yep.
Can we even do this without
I've already
Max here?
I've already registered my domains.
It has to start with an R, right?
It does.
Yeah. I think like Redemption. I don't think they'll go Revengeance. I don't think they'll go Revenge. Maybe Revenge. I don't know. Chat's throwing out a ton of stuff. Reclaim, Revive, Reunited, Return, Resurrection. Resurrection might
Redux.
Be okay.
Or here's the big one. This is the one that I actually legit could think it. Requiem. I think it could be Requiem. I think honestly, I think that's one. If it's not Requiem, I will actually be pretty angry.
I'm putting my money on Rip in Pieces.
Rip in Pieces. Nice.
That's a good one too.
Requiem's not bad. Out of all the words that I'm seeing in my chat.
That's a good suggestion too. Requie-D's nuts.
You got me, goddammit. That was a good one.
Got him.
Pretty good.
It was fucking terrible. That was awful.
Pretty good.
Isn't Reunion an actual thing in the game? Yes.
Reunion is the new Crisis Core.
Oh, well, that's the new Crisis Core. Okay. That makes sense. I've been thinking of replaying 7 Remake and go in with the mind of like, this isn't Final Fantasy 7. This is a different game.
It is. It's yeah. We had this discussion when we were watching. I'm still to this day frustrated that they called it remake. They shouldn't have called it remake.
Yeah.
I'm fully in the boat that they shouldn't have called it remake. Just because it's an industry term that doesn't mean what that game is.
Right.
That is a sequel.
Yes.
It's not a remake.
Yeah.
So it's weird. It's still weird. Now people disagree, but I don't care because you're wrong. So we'll have
my
opinions
official
on that.
guess.
Yeah.
My official guess. I've been looking. I've been crowdsourcing, and I think my official guess will be Final Fantasy Reminiscence.
Final Fantasy 7 remake. Or wait, Final Fantasy. What is the official?
FF7 Reminiscence.
Okay. Yeah.
I feel like that's a little long, but it's
or Reminisce.
What can we get? Yeah.
We'll see.
I like that. That's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah, we'll find out in like 4 or 5 years, I guess.
Somebody goes, find the re-sequel.
Nice. That's what they should call
it.
Yeah.
I like regurgitation as well.
Regurgitation, yeah.
Then if it's bad, they could just be refund.
Also true. Also true.
Or Final Fantasy 7.
Just a whole lot of R's and E's.
Look, everyone's by the third one, they're gonna be doing that with how that story's going. I'm sure it's gonna be fucking
for those suggesting reunion, they've already named Crisis Core that. So they're probably not gonna that'd be a little awkward. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Reunion would have been a great name for the third one. But.
Well, hey, listen. Metallica did it way back in the day when they did Garage Days, and they did Garage Days Revisited, Garage Days revisited. So you can do it.
It's true.
You can reunion.
To be fair, this is also Square Enix we're talking about. They have some really fucking weird names out there for video games.
True.
So
yeah, wordplay and alliteration is their kind of watchword with like Dream Drop Distance and
yeah,
shit like that.
Yeah, Nomura is involved, so he could just be like, "Yep, we're gonna name it something real fucking weird." The gamers will get over it. It's just how it's gonna go.
But man, it was crazy though. Getting back to the meat of it, like they just drop right in with nostalgic stuff that you're seeing.
Yeah,
with with Nibelheim and everything, but then they immediately have Aerith. Like, what? You imagined me dead? It's like, what are you talking? And it's like,
wait.
Like,
wasn't that Tifa that was talking? Not Aerith?
I don't know.
I think that was that Tifa? Yeah.
Well, Tifa said that, not Aerith.
Yeah.
I thought that was Aerith. I need to play Remake again, apparently.
That's
so, but even then, like those aren't lines from the original, basically. Like it's clearly like they're gonna be doing something crazy and new with this.
Yeah.
Like they are. This one seems a lot more like right off the bat, they're gonna be changing the formula than they did with Remake, which was 80% your standard jaunt with little hints, and then
FF7 was released on PS4, right?
Remake was,
Remake
originally,
was,
yeah, okay.
And then it got a PS5 upgrade.
Sure,
and then
it was originally released
on Epic
on PS4. So, for those of you saying spoiler, you weren't going to play it anyway.
Yeah,
if you were going to play it, you already played it.
Unless they were waiting for it to come to Steam, which maybe that's their caveat there. But it's been a while. You should have played it. So that all happened. That was a big stream. And then at the literal same time, they brought out the Capcom boys, and they talked about how cool Dragon's Dogma 1 was for 10 minutes. And then they ripped off their shirts to reveal a Dragon's Dogma 2 shirt. And that's how that game was announced officially.
That was an awesome 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Like it was almost like their own produced like no clip.
Yeah.
It was very cool. It was very cool.
They went back on the history of the game. Yes. Well,
the 2 announcement was.
The 2 wasn't announced yet. It was leaked in like a giant leak that happened like 18 months ago from Capcom internal. There's like a memo that had all their upcoming games, and Dragon's Dogma 2 was one of them. So it was kind of like a soft confirmation through leak, but this was the first time they had officially mentioned it and announced it. So, and also that it's on the RE engine, which is very exciting because Dragon's Dogma on a good engine like that could be really fucking cool.
All right, real quick. Somebody says, why does Drop Frames constantly spoil stuff now? Okay, all that stuff we talked about Final Fantasy VII, that was the show. Like, it talked about where everything was and how it was going. Like, I don't think we spoiled anything that wasn't in that show.
I don't think we did.
Oh, yeah.
Or like Final Fantasy VII also just being a remake of a game from 25 years ago.
Well, yeah, but I mean, still spoilers there. But no, the Aerith stuff, that was me misattributing a quote. which apparently we already, even regardless
Yeah.
of what happens in the old game, it's clear that it was inferring it was going to change. So nobody knows what's going to happen anymore.
Yeah.
And also, if you didn't have a PS4 and bought, Final Fantasy VII, it's not like by now, like, what were you were gonna get around to it? Like, I'm gonna get around to it. Shut up.
Well, I mean, to be fair, spoiler's a
If
spoiler.
it's a financial thing, you could get, like, seriously, pawn shop. Go to a pawn shop.
Yeah.
It worked at one. Like,
look,
there are ways to get it on the cheap.
my take on it is disgusting. If it's a spoiler or not, is almost as dumb as being upset about it in chat and watching a game about, or a show about video games. So let's just move forward. That's my take on it. I'll take the brunt of all the damage here for the spoiler conversation, I guess. We'll just move forward. That's fine. Because I don't think we said anything about it that was spoiler.
I don't think we did.
Yeah. And then that's pretty much in like actual news. I did see a report. You guys will love this. If anyone was expecting Diablo Immortal to not do well financially, they've already made about $24 million on that game. So there's that. For everyone that was like trying not to support it, it's gonna make its money. It is what it is. And it was all from Quinn, actually. Believe it or not, here on
All
Twitch.
from Quinn.
Yeah. Quinn and Rich, they did all 24 million, and they got their 5 stars, and that's how that game went. And I think that's kind of it. Did you guys see any other news or any other things you want to bring up? A lot of Starfield quotes coming out there.
Wow.
What's that?
So SkillUp had an interesting tweet. Somebody just turned me on to.
Okay.
Diablo 3 made $210 million in its first 24 hours. So basically, Blizz worked for 5 years to make a Diablo game that's roughly 10% as successful as a game they released 10 years ago. Plus, they snagged the record for lowest user score on Metacritic. Good job, Blizzard. Nailed it.
How many? That's probably just from units sold, right?
Probably.
It would have to be that because the RMT. Yeah, so they sold 3.5 million copies in the first 24 hours. So, yeah, okay. So he's just doing the napkin math on that. Yeah.
I don't know, man. I was like, when I first heard that, I thought 24 was kind of low.
Yeah,
24 million for a mobile game that's designed to pull as much money out of you as possible. Like I bet you they're not filled with those numbers.
I would think not as well. I was also surprised, if I remember the stats, that the majority of that, I want to say like 45% was from the US, which I was very surprised about because I thought that would be a big thing in like the Chinese market, unless it's not out there yet. I'm not sure.
Can you say that headline again? Because I think I might be confused.
Which one?
More confused than normal. The Diablo headline. It was.
Well, there was Diablo Immortal has made $24 million-ish since release, and then Co said via SkillUp that Diablo 3 in the first 24 hours made $210 million because it sold 3.5 million copies at $60
I
a pop.
see. Okay.
Yeah.
And granted, it is slightly apples and oranges since you're talking about a game that has an upfront cost versus a free-to-play game that's designed to bleed you dry over the course of months to years.
Right.
So there is a difference there, but even then, you would think that it would be more than that.
Yeah.
I mean, Genshin Impact is lapping them in terms of money, and it's a similar free-to-play type of situation.
Yeah. Also, apparently the game comes out in China on the 23rd. So that would probably be the moneymaker for that game.
Doesn't China have a lot of restrictions in place for that kind of game, though? Maybe not.
They are, yes, but I don't know the specifics of it. They're not going to restrict the MTX, but there are restrictions in place on multiple things for that type of game. But I don't think MTX is going to that game was designed to come out in China ultimately.
Oh, it's more age restriction stuff.
Yeah.
Time, not payment. Okay.
Yeah, and they don't like feminine male characters. I think the game's fine for that. Like They've made people change. They've made companies change characters in like Genshin Impact for being too feminine.
Really?
Yeah, like models have straight up changed. So yeah.
Okay.
So that's how it goes over there, I guess. And I think even they've had a couple female models changed as well. Oh yeah, and you can't have skeletons or bones showing, and no blood. All the blood is changed to white. There's a bunch of the restrictions are a little bit weird. Oh, it was just clothing that they changed. Okay, that's what it was. Yeah, all that stuff's easily Googleable though, so go check it out if you're at all curious on that stuff.
Oh, thought policing is always so great.
Yeah,
love it.
EA gave its CEO Andrew Wilson a $20 million pay cut, and he was like, "Okay." So that shows you how much money he's making.
Well, I guess I can't get that helicopter landing pad on the new yacht I was going for.
Yeah, I love that headline.
I'll just have to put it on the other yacht, I guess.
Yeah, that was kind of ridiculous. Activision Blizzard, did you see Activision Blizzard reported on itself and found themselves not guilty? That was very good.
God, that sounds like the fucking U.S. government, dude.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
dude.
to be specific, they came out and said that their senior management was not guilty for not acting on any of the stuff that they knew about. I think in the past was the exact thing there, which was wild. And then the other part too was that they came out and said that a lot of that stuff was generated or created or put out to public so that it could catch headlines in the media. That was also in the report. So good job, Activision Blizzard, with that report. That's a winner. You can go read about that if you want.
We are doing an extensive and thorough internal investigation, and we will grade ourselves fairly and tell you exactly what that grade is. And it's an A+, by the way.
Yeah.
I like someone in chat, the quote, "We are not the bad guys." By the bad guy.
Pretty much. Yeah. Pretty much. I think that's pretty much it in like all of the news that has happened since we did a show on
GFUEL.
The GFUEL stuff. Yeah. Talk about shitty people doing shitty things. That's like, I'm surprised, and maybe not so much because of like contracts and whatnot, but they sponsor a massive amount of the upper ecosystem of Twitch. And I haven't really like seen too much. I saw Tally. Tally put out like a twit longer about it. They basically said like, "Hey, what the fuck? You guys got to say something about this or I'm out," essentially. And I don't know what the process of that was.
More than a few people who have been
talking
up about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
What happened? Lore Master, would you like to?
This you'll have to help me fill in the granular details. Essentially, they fired their entire influencer team, and in doing so, it like unprompted. It was just kind of out of nowhere. And in doing so, the people that were fired said that there was a lot of like racial slurs that were used in the conversation about it. And it was just fairly quick and they were just out. I never heard or saw why any of that occurred apart from it just happening. I don't know if we ever got the why. And I also don't know if we ever got a statement from GFUEL. Did either of you see that? Or was it just, I just saw like the Twitter machine going in on like Friday. Yeah, no, that's not the story at all. Please enlighten me. That's by all means.
The company reportedly notified ex-employees of their dismissal, citing restructuring in quotes. However, per reports by Jake Lucky, this came mere hours after staff filed complaints with Human Resources regarding derogatory statements made by a superior executive, prompting suspicion of unfair dismissal. According to reports on the 16th of June, the executive reportedly made a derogatory slur towards the members during a team-wide meeting, calling members of the team lazy mother effers.
Okay, so it wasn't racial at all.
Less than 24 hours after reporting the executive's unprofessional and derogatory remarks to the Human Resource Department, the 7 GFUEL employees were terminated effective immediately. and told it was part of the company's restructuring plans. The company is also reportedly banning partnered creators requesting clarity or further details regarding the drama.
That's weird.
And then they post screenshots of people being banned from the Discord for bringing up the issue.
Huh. Just inquiring about it got them banned?
Yeah, apparently. From the Discord. I don't know if that's banning like from their partnership, but
got it.
So it sounds like they just got tired of their influence relation teams ish and were very rude about it and then just fired them all.
Yeah.
And the thing is like obviously for most creators, that team is their connection to the company. So understandably, I bet many of them are very frustrated when it's like, cool, the guy that I've been interfacing with for months and or years in many cases just got fired unfairly from that company. So in their eyes, at least.
Right.
So
right. Yeah. I'm going to,
that's not a good way to, that's a very bad way for G Fuel to be doing that. For
right.
Sure.
Yeah. And I clearly
not
fell victim to the Twitter telephone game. So that I got added stuff that didn't even happen according to my 5 seconds that I saw while browsing Twitter the other day. Yeah, Tally's, I'm pulling up his comment on it. Tally tweeted, the G Fuel Energy layoffs are horrible. Influencers / talent managers are the backbone of our streaming world. Hope these amazing people move on to bigger and better things, to work out with companies that will cherish what they do for us streamers, the blood, sweat, and tears they put into helping us be better, demands respect. You must be held accountable for any sort of harassments or ill behavior towards your workers. I expect a statement soon. I will not tolerate this. This is becoming too common and I'm tired of it. I'm too old for this shit. My patience is running out for these kind of problems in the gaming work culture. Be better. Communicate with us. EOB tomorrow. That was on the 17th. And I don't think they've said anything about it, to my understanding.
At least publicly.
Yeah, publicly. That's very true. Yeah, they're business as usual on their Twitter as of 3 hours ago. They just went through the weekend per usual. Well, that's actually not true. They posted on the 16th, and then the last time they posted, the next time they posted after that was 22 hours ago. So they took a 72-hour Twitter vacation from the looks of it.
Like, I would never ever get sponsored by G Fuel for obvious reasons, but like,
I would never take.
I think like even if I did get like them sniffing around saying like, hey, what about G Fuel? Like, it's too dude bro. Like, it always seemed like very dude bro to me. Like the dude bro energy drink from Letterkenny. Like,
well,
this is for gamers. This is gaming fuel. Like Mountain Dew Code Red. Like, yeah, nah, come on, dude. Like, we know what Mountain Dew is, man. We know what G Fuel is. Like,
wasn't there lead in G Fuel? Wasn't that a thing that happened a while back?
I think that was paint in the 50s.
I could have sworn that they're, unless
yeah,
this was
wait. Chad is saying yes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, this is a real thing. I didn't just make it up.
What?
It's not.
Oh, Lord.
A
I have never heard that.
Yeah, there was. I think is the key thing. Was. I'm trying.
Are there traces of lead in G Fuel? Yes, but since G Fuel consists of natural ingredients that commonly soak up traces of lead through their roots, it's not very surprising. Additional, California is pretty strict when it comes to content on its warning labels. Oh, so it looks like it may have been sued for trace amounts.
G Fuel cold.
While not FDA approved, G Fuel likely contains far below the FDA's max intake of 12.5 micrograms a day. Oh, it was a G Fuel California lawsuit.
Oh.
It was settled with a payment of a measly $10,500. Measly $10,000. If G Fuel contained so much lead that it was life-threatening, the sum would have been far higher, and G Fuel would have likely been banned from producing a toxic product.
Right.
Yeah. So it looks like that was. Yeah. It does contain lead, but only in the natural stuff that it has.
From the natural resources.
It seems like a relative non-issue.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, that whole thing happened, and when I say it happened was, and what Zeke I think was bringing up was like outrage on Twitter, and G Fuel was just like, thanks for the free advertising. I guess we're going to go on about Twitter and post our normal stuff. Appreciate it, guys. And they didn't have any statements come out for that. So, and I didn't really see any other big creators like comment on it. It was mostly a lot of smaller creators. So,
Oh man, I mean, I'm sure they pay you a lot for a sponsorship, man, and it's like, if it's a big chunk of your your yearly income, you do. I mean, you have to sit there and think twice. Like, oh my god, how bad is this? Is this bad, or is it just bad?
yeah.
Because bad, I could probably weather. Bad. I gotta say something.
Well,
No.
it might also be a breach of contract, and I have no idea what's in those contracts, but they might not, fear from breaking the contract might have been why they didn't say anything. Yeah, potentially, but you never know.
But I'm saying, like I said on Twitter, Crystal Light, now's your time. It's your chance. Jump in there, Crystal Light powdered drink. I would definitely take a sponsorship from Crystal Light. I drink that shit all the time. It's delicious. It requires no added sugar, and it's 5 calories a glass. I fucking love you, Crystal Light.
Boom. Well, now you did it for free. Now they don't have to sponsor you.
Now they don't have to pay you.
No, I'd say that shit every day, though.
Oh.
Oh.
Well, then why would they sponsor you?
No, I would say that shit if they sponsored me. I would say that every day.
You would say that every day. I got you. Yeah. Okay. Got it. Noted.
Man, fuck country time.
Oh,
Crystal
man, I remember those bins.
In every way.
We had those bins back in the day, the little like plastic the sugar was always someone would like double dip with that and it would put the water back into the crystal. It was bad times. It wasn't crystal time, it was bad times. What that was.
No shit, if you haven't had Crystal Light in a while, get yourself a pitcher packet and see how much powder makes all that water like sweet, tasty. 5 calories a glass. I'm serious. I keep your PR for
They're not paying you yet.
I know. God damn it. I gotta shut up before they pay me.
It's gotta stop. Yeah. It's gotta stop. Any other thing? I don't have much to say. I mentioned this to you guys. I think if as a show about streaming 5% of the year, this is a thing that's out that is probably going to be replacing a bunch of GoLXRs. But apart from plugging it in, I don't really have anything to say about it because I haven't fucked with it at all.
I thought, wasn't that what you were doing? Yeah, I was lurking in your stream when you got it set up. You didn't actually like.
I didn't want to because I would have had to set everything back up for this show, and so my I guess laziness ultimately won out because I didn't want to dismantle the audio, fuck with this, realize I have no idea what I'm doing, and then plug it all back in preparation for the show today. So.
It's a Rodecaster Pro 2.
Yes, don't do what I did and order the first one, and then realize, oh shit, there's 2 of them, and I ordered the old one. Because I definitely did that when I impulse
like the old Xbox series is like.
Yeah. I didn't realize that there was 2, but it seems fine. I mean it works in the sense that it does what you want it to do. It's got all the GoXLR stuff. You can program audio and stuff to this. I think you can do full on programming with this via the software. So if you want to treat this like Stream Deck buttons, you can do that.
It's got samples then.
It's got samples, but I don't know if that's.
No, I mean those buttons.
Yeah, you can program to do whatever. There's 3 things, and you can have I think 8 pages of stuff in the database.
Because the GoXLR buttons are just samples.
Oh, okay, gotcha. I didn't know that. You can record again. You have to tell me because I never messed with the GoXLR, but you can record straight from this. It's definitely more from just my 5 minutes and fucking with it. It's more for podcasting than it is for dual PC streaming. Because
GoXLR only has 1 channel for XLR mics. That looks like it's 4.
This has 4. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yo.
It's got 4, and then it's
awesome.
got 4 headphone outs. And so if you want to have multiple outs, it does have mix minus on the USB C stuff. And so if you're like routing, if I'm routing this mic and I don't want you guys to be able to hear the music that I'm playing on that PC, you can mix minus that stuff. Apparently, I haven't messed with it. It connected to my Wi-Fi pretty much immediately and downloaded an update, which was kind of nice.
Okay, I already ordered mine.
Yeah.
Don't.
Without it being installed.
It's on the way.
Or without it being plugged in at all. It's got haptics on.
And for those of you wondering
okay.
the difference, GoXLR is selling for around $478, $475, something like that, and the Rodecaster is selling for about $7. So there is a significant price jump from one to the other, like $225 from one to the other.
Yep.
But I'll tell you this: if you haven't bought a GoXLR yet, and you're looking like, and you just fell into some money, like, hey, Rode has always made good shit. Like Rode mics are like top of the line, top tier microphones.
Yeah.
So like,
and the software is also a lot better from what I've heard than the GoXLR stuff, and they also have plans to constantly update that software, so it will theoretically get better as time marches on. Uses USB-C. The other thing is the big thing that they're pitching is it's got these preamps that are very good, and so if you have a Shure SM7B, which most broadcasters do, you don't need the cloud lifter anymore with this. It's got all of the preamps in here. And I did plug in my SM7B last night. It was fine. It worked out great. In fact, you can, if you do.
I stopped using my cloud lifter with the GoXLR.
Really? Do you have the gain just like cranked up out of your mind then? Okay.
That's probably 65.
Yeah. I mean, that's probably fine.
Speaking of that, I on a whim, since it wasn't like super duper expensive, it was like $150. I got the GoXLR mic.
Oh, is that the? Oh, okay.
The official. It's just GoXLR mic is all it's called. It's the TC Helicon mic. I just wanted to see like if there was a huge difference between like I've used the AT2035 for years.
Yeah.
The Audio Technica mic, and the reason why I did it is because I hesitate to buy anything expensive that's around my fucking hands. So that's why I never bought the SMBs.
Sure.
Because the Audio Technica is a great mic, and it's reasonably priced, and I've never had a problem with it, never had an issue with it. But I wanted to try this one just in case it was like like better compatibility since I have the GoXLR mixer already. And like, have you guys noticed a difference?
I didn't know you got a new mic, so
yeah. It's comparable.
Good. I mean, it's
there's
comparable.
nothing like people in my chat said like it has a more full sound to it than the AT, but
a little bit more bass.
Like I don't. The funny thing is, I wonder if I have the box around here. Yep, I do. Hold on one second. Let me just grab this here.
Sure.
Because I want to show you. So the box. This was the box for it, but most of the space is taken up by these.
What the fuck are those?
They're just rings of color that you put like here. This.
To put around
these. Thing? They're just different ones of these.
Is that rubber or plastic? What is that?
It's just plastic. That's
weird. That's like a weird thing.
I know.
That's my.
They just packed a whole bunch of rings in there.
Look, my initial
they had a lot of this size box.
My initial complaint about this thing is how fucking like it's RGB out of its mind. I think you can change the color on all this stuff somewhere, but it's like super colorful. And so the other cool thing is, I don't know if you guys can see it, but it has presets for the SM7B built into the actual thing.
Oh, that's cool.
And so it just recognizes that. It's got a bunch of different mics on it. SM7B, the RE20, the NTA1, the NT1, the Procaster, condenser mics, dynamic mics. It's also got line in and instrument settings. You can go in. It's got all the processing you would want for all of that different shit.
When I was building my PC not too long ago, a couple years ago, like a new one with a 3080 around it, like building it around the 3080.
Yeah.
It was sad because I was looking at stuff like, is there one with non-RGB? Yeah, but it's not as good. So the ones that have the RGB that I hate are the best versions of the things. Unfortunately, yes.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Sounds
I don't want any of these goddamn colored lights. The colored lights are in front of me. That's the game.
You can always just grab the software and turn the lights off. That's what I did on mine. Because I'm right there with you. I don't even have like a window. I know I don't have a window on my side of the PC because I just don't. Yeah. Funny enough, those cases are potentially more because they're less sold, and so the manufacturers don't make as many. But Yeah.
You can turn it all. I love people saying you can turn it all off though. Yeah, I could just reach in there with the pliers and just break the lights.
Yeah.
I could certainly do that.
Don't do that.
I'm just saying, like, why the fuck? Like, I want it without. Just give me the equipment. I'm not going to be sitting there staring in my PC going, oh. I have much better things to trip out on when I take drugs, okay?
That
took a turn.
That took a turn. Yeah, that went in a different direction. So it seems, super, super robust. It's got high pass filter. It's got a de-esser built into it. It's got a noise gate. It's got a compressor. It's got a equalizer. It's got a exciter. I don't even know what the fuck that is. It's got
two like speed,
panning, all this shit.
Pops out a little dab tray,
right?
Nope, haven't yet. It's only been plugged into power. I don't like. It's I hate USB-C as like main connectors because it just feels so fucking flimsy. Like I'm just gonna break it or it's gonna snap. Like this is already tilted in the back right here. It's making me nervous that it's just gonna not work because it's gonna get dinged up against something. But that's a me issue, not an issue with the thing. So I know Max has messed around with it a lot. I think he was still using it last night on his stream. Gassy Mexican, not Maximilian dude, to be precise. And it seems fine. And he's pretty anal about his audio stuff, kind of like I am. He's also, I think, used a pretty absurd setup for his mic audio for the better part of 8, 9, 10 years, maybe. And he swapped over to it, and it got pretty close with 2 or 3 hours of messing with it to his original mic sound. So I think it'll do well. And if you're looking for a Go XLR alternative and or better product, ultimately, it seems like it's going to be the one to go with. But I'll have more information once I mess with it.
The game changer for me, like the only reason that I'm even thinking about it is because of the extra mic inputs. Just in case I have a guest sometime and they get their own mic. That'd be cool.
Well, not only mic inputs, it's also got 4 headphone outs. And so you could give them a headphone set too.
So you don't have to split the fucking headphone line? They each get their own? Wow!
I think that's who it's made for.
I literally have 2 different switch boxes sitting here for that exact thing. I have an XLR switch box and a 3.5-inch switch box for that stuff. So that would clear already all that stuff off my desk, which would be nice.
Yep.
Well, I'm with Narnun. We talked about this a little bit. I'm with you on that. Like, if it has the programmable buttons that you can like use for scene switching, that'd be great.
I would think it would be, but it might not be as simple as like what the Stream Deck has. Like you might actually have to have a dev go in there and point it using actual coding for that. I don't know if it's built in. I haven't downloaded the software yet to see. So I can't tell you if it does. Yay or nay on that. I do know that there was very few you ordered yours, or very few left. You ordered yours last night, right?
I tried, but the place I ordered it from doesn't take orders on the weekend, so.
Oh yeah, B&H.
Put it on put it on Monday.
Yeah.
Okay. Then. Yeah, it's like sold out everywhere, super marked up. So it looks like the streamer bump is definitely in full effect right now.
Yeah. So we'll see how that goes.
Somebody mentioned this in chat, and I think I can pretty much guess all of our thoughts on it.
Let's hear it.
We'll go ahead and mention it. They said, "What did you think about Artesian Builds auctioning off computers that they had already made for their partners?" Have you guys heard about this? So, Artisan Builds, or whatever it's called, was that PC company that had connections with tons and tons of streamers.
Oh, okay, yes.
And then they were complete asshats on a live stream. Things started going wrong for them. They started getting basically completely canceled over it. Like streamer after streamer was leaving working with them.
Yeah.
And it got to a point where they had to basically like declare bankruptcy and shut down.
Yep.
So they're entering bankruptcy. And one of the things they're doing is they're auctioning off their old inventory, and they're actually selling the computers that they made for their partners that are like fully branded with their logos on the side and everything. And like one particular guy, I think his name is Rami, Ramee, I think his name is. Like in the picture, you can see his logo on the side and like the names of the subs that were done during the stream on the back of it, and they're like auctioning it off for bankruptcy money. And for the record, the question is, what do we think about it? What do you think we think about it? It's ridiculous. Like it's complete. These people are complete assholes.
Yeah.
Like it's 100% just it's
scum.
What else
scam.
could you
like,
think about it? Yeah, it's complete scumbaggery.
Yeah.
Oh
I'd
my
buy
God,
one and put
man.
it in the back and just have it visible, but have it like just put F in front of every name, so it's Fartesian like all the way around.
Jeez.
For the record, okay,
weird.
somebody said, I think because they're claiming bankruptcy, they have to sell it and not send it. The point is they didn't send it when they should have.
Right.
They could have at any point before they officially declared bankruptcy, sent it to this person, and they decided actively not to. And then they entered bankruptcy with them. So that's the issue. The issue is that they could have sent it at any time and they didn't.
Yeah.
Apparently that guy had been waiting for his computer. So yeah. Somebody says, did the streamers pay for these or were they going to be free? I think the point is that they were partnered with the company. So the idea is that the Artisan Builds would build the computer on stream, and they would then like, get all the PR being associated with that streamer, and then they sent the computer to them when they were done with it. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that's how it worked. Oh, and Rolton in my chat says some of the PCs were actually even paid for already.
Jeez.
Oh God, that's even worse.
Scum go to scum.
Oof. Yeah, scum gonna scum.
Yeah, I had heard inklings of that, but I didn't. I saw all the stuff a month or two ago when they went and filed for bankruptcy because they were doing a giveaway and it was like a smaller streamer, and they realized that the giveaway was to a smaller streamer, and then they were like, "We're not going to give you the PC, sorry." Like that was the original catalyst for everything.
That was the first domino that fell, was the fact that a smaller streamer actually won the giveaway, and they were just like, nah, too small. Like, pick another name. And it's like, dude, what? Like, what are you doing?
Yeah. Real absurd.
It's just disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting, man.
Real silly shit. All right. You guys want to take a break and then we can come back and talk for the rest of the show about all the demos we've been played? I think both of you have played a lot more than I have. So I'm curious because
like 40 plus.
I think we still have 12 hours or 12-ish hours to play these before Steam Next Fest goes down, I want to say. So let's take a break. We'll come back and see if you guys found any hidden gems or anything like that, either on your own devices or if chat clued you in or what. We'll come back and talk all about them. So don't go anywhere. More Drop Frames coming up right after this. We'll see you in about 5 or 6.